Welcome back to the deep dive. There's been this growing hum, maybe even more like a seismic rumble, in the world of trucks as electrification really starts to take hold. For decades, the truck market's been this landscape of, well, familiar giants, right? But now, that terrain is shifting pretty dramatically. Today, we're diving headfirst into something I've been personally fascinated by, the electric truck revolution. And specifically, what happens when two very different titans enter the arena. On one side, you've got an iconic, established legacy automaker, Ford. Generations of truck building just ingrained in its DNA, and they decide to electrify their most beloved nameplate. Then on the other side, a nimble, innovative startup, Rivian, building an electric truck totally from the ground up. No historical baggage, just a blank slate in this bold new vision. Our mission for this deep dive is a head-to-head comparison of these two absolute powerhouses in the electric truck space, the Ford F-150 Lightning and the Rivian R1T. We're going to uncover some truly captivating distinctions between these two, not just in their specs, but in their very soul, what makes them tick, and maybe more importantly, who they're truly designed for. It's going to be a journey, I think, that helps you understand what really drives these incredible machines and which one might be calling your name.
And that's exactly why this particular showdown is so compelling. What's really fascinating here is that we're looking at more than just vehicles. We're examining two entirely different philosophies shaping the future of electric mobility. It's kind of a classic innovator versus incumbent story playing out in real time, right on our roads. Offers a vivid glimpse into the, well, diverse futures of personal transportation. Our goal today is to take you through the core findings of an in-depth review comparing these two trucks, sort of extracting the most important nuggets of knowledge to make you truly well-informed. We're not just going to list features, no. We're going to help you understand the why behind their design choices, what trade-offs were made, and what it really means for your specific needs. Whether you're, prepping for a big purchase, or maybe you're just intensely curious about what's happening in this dynamic and rapidly evolving market, you'll walk away with a clear picture, I think, of who each truck is really for and why those distinctions really matter.
Okay, every great story has an origin, right? And with these two trucks, their beginnings couldn't be more different. One was born from a legacy stretching back generations, the other, well, a blank slate. Understand that DNA, where they came from and who they were built for. That's the absolute bedrock of this entire comparison. It really sets the stage. So let's unpack this fundamental difference right off the bat. Where did these trucks come from, and who were they built for?
That's the core of it, yeah. It's the foundational philosophy that dictates every single design decision, every engineering choice. Let's start with the Ford F-150 Lightning's approach. Ford's strategy here was incredibly clear and, looking back, pretty brilliant. Electrify their most iconic and best-selling vehicle, the F-150. This wasn't about reinventing the wheel from scratch, not at all. It was more about perfecting it, with electric power. The F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle in America for over 40 years, selling literally millions of units. That's not a legacy you just discard. Ford knows this customer base intimately.
Inside and out.
Exactly. So the Lightning was meticulously designed to appeal to that vast existing F-150 customer base. Think about who those customers are. These are individuals who genuinely need a capable, full-size work truck for their jobs. Maybe they're contractors, farmers, small business owners, you name it. They also might need a robust family hauler, for daily errands, school pickups, weekend trips to the lake, or simply a versatile daily driver that can handle anything life throws at it, from lumber runs to holiday travel. The aim for Ford was explicitly to offer that familiar, dependable F-150 experience, but with all the added benefits that electric power brings. Instant torque, incredibly quiet operation, and potentially lower running costs. It's a truck for the masses, really, built on a proven, universally trusted platform, designed to feel both revolutionary and reassuringly familiar at the same time.
So it's less about convincing a whole new segment of buyers and maybe more about transitioning existing loyalists to an electric future. That sounds like a smart, if perhaps less flashy, long-term play.
Precisely. And the implications of this approach are huge. Ford could leverage decades, literally generations, of truck-building knowledge and engineering expertise. They understand the nuances of what traditional truck buyers expect: ruggedness, utility, reliability, and, importantly, ease of service through a massive dealer network. This wasn't some experimental vehicle designed for a niche market. It was an evolution, designed to slide seamlessly into the lives of people who already trust the F-Series name. It's about bringing electrification to the people who already rely on trucks every single day, way, providing an electric option that feels like a natural progression, not some drastic leap. It's a truck for the pragmatic, you could say.
Pragmatic, I like that. Okay, so that's Ford's corner. What about Rivian? How different was their starting point?
Oh, completely different. Now, contrast this sharply with the Rivian R1T's vision. Rivian is a newer startup, right? A relative newcomer to the automotive scene. And they approach truck design from an entirely different angle. They designed the R1T from the ground up, specifically as an electric adventure vehicle. This means there were no legacy platforms to adapt, no existing customer base to appease with familiar designs, and frankly, no real expectations of what a truck should be. They had a clean slate, and they definitely used it to redefine the category.
Or total blank canvas.
Exactly. Their focus isn't primarily on the traditional work truck buyer who hauls plywood and tools every day. No. Instead, they're targeting outdoor enthusiasts, people who love camping, hiking, mountain biking, kayaking, folks who want to get deep into nature. They're also aiming for tech-savvy buyers, those who embrace innovation, connectivity, a digital-first lifestyle, and those looking for a premium, capable truck that seamlessly blends luxury with serious off-road prowess. The R1T's purpose is less about traditional work applications, like hauling construction materials to a job site, and much more about enabling a specific lifestyle of exploration and high-tech adventure. It's about getting off the grid comfortably, doing it with a high degree of technological sophistication, and, well, making a statement while you're doing it.
It sounds like Rivian is selling a whole experience, really, not just a vehicle. So for the listener considering these, the big question becomes, are you looking for the tried and true electrified evolution of a classic, a familiar form factor enhanced by electric power? Or are you seeking a revolution in truck design, something entirely new that redefines what a truck can be, driven by a specific lifestyle and that spirit of exploration? It's a very different starting point for each of these incredible vehicles, and yeah, it influences every single design choice they made. All right, if their philosophies are polar opposites, then you see it immediately in how they look on the road. It's almost like their designers read the brief and went in completely different directions. The visual differences between these two trucks are absolutely striking. They instantly tell you a story about their design intent almost before you even know their names. It's that first impression, and it speaks volumes.
They absolutely do. Yeah, you almost don't need the specs to understand these trucks' intentions just by looking at their silhouette. Let's start with the Ford F-150 Lightning's familiar stance. It makes no secret of its lineage. It maintains that classic, robust, and universally familiar F-150 silhouette. From a distance, yeah, you might even mistake it for a traditional gasoline-powered F-150 until you get closer. Now, it does incorporate modern elements like that distinct full-width LED light bar across the front that's kind of a signature EV aesthetic that screams electric, right? And unique grille designs that hint at its nature. But still, it is instantly recognizable as a Ford truck. This is a deliberate design choice. It speaks directly to its core audience. Hey, this is the F-150 you know and love, just better because it's electric.
Familiarity is key there.
Yeah, definitely. And this extends to its full-size dimensions, too. The Lightning has a larger overall footprint compared to the Rivian. It's got a truly spacious cabin, comfortably seats 5 adults with room to spare, and it offers traditional bed-length options. You can get it with either a 5.5-foot or 6.5-foot bed, depending on the trim level you choose. This size is undoubtedly a huge pro for those who truly need maximum cargo and passenger space, whether that's for work equipment, camping gear, fitting the whole family plus luggage, or maybe even sleeping in the bed during a camping trip.
But that size can also be a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Especially in tighter spots.
Oh, absolutely. And here's where it gets really interesting for a lot of urban dwellers, or frankly, anyone with tight driveways. That larger footprint can definitely be a significant drawback. The Lightning's sheer scale, while great for hauling, means it actually struggles to fit into nearly a third of standard residential garages in North America. Think about that.
Wow, a third? That's huge.
It is. Imagine buying this awesome new truck that might literally not fit in your garage, forcing a whole new parking strategy that's a silent reality check for many potential F-150 fans, especially in cities or older suburbs. It's a big truck designed for big jobs and big spaces. Fantastic if you have them, but a real consideration if your environment is tighter.
That's a huge point. I hadn't thought about the garage factor specifically, so it's not just about maneuverability on the road, but the physical reality of living with a full-size truck. What about the Rivian then? I imagine it's a completely different aesthetic.
Stark contrast, yeah. The Rivian R1T boasts the sleek, futuristic, and distinctly minimalist design. It doesn't borrow from any existing truck aesthetic. It really creates its own. Those signature stadium headlights, almost like vertical pill shapes, instantly recognizable. And its incredibly clean lines give it this unique, almost concept car-like appearance.
Yeah, it looks like something that drove straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Oh. It really does. It's certainly a head-turner, designed unapologetically to stand out and signal innovation. Now, in terms of its physical size, the R1T is notably more compact than the F-150 Lightning. It truly sits in an interesting spot, somewhere between a midsize and a full-size truck. This more compact footprint is a significant advantage when it comes to agility in tighter spaces. Think navigating crowded city streets, squeezing into compact parking lots, or even tackling narrow off-road trails where every inch counts.
Makes sense. But there must be trade-offs for that smaller size.
Of course. As with all design choices, there are trade-offs. That smaller size means a compromise on bed length. It offers a 4.5-foot bed, noticeably shorter than the Lightning's options, and might not fit, say, a full sheet of plywood flat without an extender. It also means slightly less rear passenger legroom compared to the Ford. Might be a consideration if you frequently carry adult passengers in the back for long journeys. So for you, the listener, what stands out? Is it the familiar comfort and proven utility of the Lightning's design, perfectly suited for the traditional truck user? Or is it the cutting-edge appeal, the unique untruck-like look, and the urban agility of the Rivian, designed for a different kind of adventurer? Your preference here says a lot about your priorities and your daily reality.
Okay, if the outside is a clear differentiator, then stepping inside really makes those differences even more pronounced. It's where functionality meets futuristic, where you can literally feel the distinct philosophies of each manufacturer come to life in how you interact with the vehicle. The interior experience is truly like a world apart.
You're absolutely hitting the nail on the head there. The interior design ethos of these two vehicles couldn't be more distinct. Let's start with the Ford F-150 Lightning's cabin. For anyone who has spent time in a modern F-150, the interior will feel largely familiar. And this was a deliberate choice by Ford, right? Minimize the learning curve for their existing customer base. It's incredibly spacious, practical, and undeniably built for utility and everyday usability. You feel like you're in a truck that's ready for work or a busy family life. Durable materials, straightforward controls.
Makes sense. It feels like a truck cabin.
Exactly. Now, in terms of technology, it features a large central touchscreen. There's a 12-inch screen standard, and then this truly massive 15.5-inch optional screen that kind of dominates the dash. But what's really important here, and a point of strong preference for many, many users, is that Ford very intentionally retains a good number of physical buttons and knobs.
Ah, the buttons. Yeah. People love those.
They do. You'll find them for crucial functions like climate control, volume, other frequently used features, often arranged intuitively right below the screen. This provides that tactile experience. It means you don't always have to dig through menus on a screen just to adjust the fan speed or turn on the heated seats, which can be a huge benefit for driver focus, Plus, it offers seamless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration, wired or wireless depending on the trim, which is another preference for a significant portion of the driving public. They want their smartphone interface right there on the car's screen for navigation and media. And we can't overlook the passenger space. The rear seats are incredibly spacious, abundant legroom, hip room, headroom, easily accommodating 3 adults comfortably, making it an excellent family vehicle for long road trips. This really speaks to its truck for the masses philosophy, designed to accommodate everyone comfortably, just like a traditional F-150.
So it's that balance of cutting-edge tech with the comforting familiarity of traditional controls. I know many drivers who would highly prioritize those physical buttons. Now, shifting gears to the Rivian R1T's interior, what's the vibe there? I imagine it's a completely different aesthetic.
Absolutely. Pivot to the Rivian R1T's interior, and you find this cabin that is just a masterclass in modern minimalist luxury. It's designed to feel less like a traditional truck and more like a high-end, technologically advanced SUV from the future. The materials used are exceptional. You'll see beautiful open-pore wood accents, optional durable and eco-conscious vegan leather, soft-touch surfaces everywhere. It creates this undeniably upscale, almost serene ambiance. Very clean, uncluttered aesthetic, designed to be both calming and functional.
Sounds very premium. And screens, I assume.
Oh, yeah. The interior experience is dominated by 2 large digital screens. You've got a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster right in front of the driver, displaying all essential driving info in crisp detail. And then there's a massive 15.6-inch central infotainment display that serves as the command center for nearly everything in the vehicle. And this brings us to a key difference in control philosophy. Almost all controls, including seemingly simple things like adjusting the HVAC vents, opening the glove box, even changing drive modes, are managed exclusively through this central touchscreen.
Wow, even the vents, so very few physical buttons then.
Very few. This purely digital interface, it can take some getting used to for drivers accustomed to physical buttons. It might initially feel like stepping into a spaceship, maybe, but here's the unexpected twist. That lack of buttons forces you to engage with the vehicle in a completely new way, almost like interacting with a giant tablet. For a tech-native generation, this can be surprisingly intuitive and quick to learn. But for those used to tactile controls, it's definitely a steeper learning curve, requires some retraining of muscle memory. And while the rear seats in the Rivian are certainly comfortable and well-appointed, they do offer less legroom than the Lightning, a direct result of its smaller overall footprint. Comfortable for 2 adults, but 3 might be a squeeze on longer journeys.
And Rivian is big on software updates, right?
Huge. What's also unique about Rivian is their software ecosystem. It's known for its frequent over-the-air or OTA updates. Think of it like your smartphone getting regular software updates. Rivian constantly adds new features, refines existing ones, improves the user experience over time, often based on customer feedback. It means your truck can actually get better and gain new capabilities while it sits in your driveway. That's a truly modern proposition. And for those adventure-focused touches, Rivian includes a clever integrated air compressor, perfect for airing up tires after off-roading or camping without needing an external unit.
That's handy.
Very. There's also even a removable Bluetooth speaker that can be taken out of the vehicle for use at a campsite or tailgate party, further blurring the lines between vehicle and outdoor gear. So this raises an important question for you, the listener. Do you prefer the tactile, familiar controls and spacious practicality of the Ford, or are you drawn to the purely digital interface, the modern luxury, and the constantly evolving software experience of the Rivian? It's a fundamental choice in how you interact with your vehicle every single day.
You know, one of the most exciting, almost revolutionary benefits of electric powertrains and trucks is that liberation of space, right? Where the big noisy gasoline engine and transmission used to be. That prime real estate under the hood is now available for something else entirely. So what do these two do with it? It's a really creative area where they differentiate themselves, moving beyond just the truck bed.
Absolutely. And the way they utilize this newly available space truly highlights their distinct philosophies and their target audiences. For the Ford F-150 Lightning, the standout feature here is undoubtedly the Mega Power Frunk.
Mega Power Frunk.
Yeah.
Sounds impressive.
And when they say mega, they mean it. Located precisely where a traditional gasoline engine would typically sit, it is enormous. We're talking 14.1 cubic feet of lockable, weatherproof storage, capable of holding hundreds of pounds of gear. It's got a drain plug, too, making it easy to clean if you use it for muddy gear, or even like as a massive cooler for tailgating.
That's smart.
Very. The practicality of this frunk is just off the charts. Imagine loading up 2 full-size golf bags or several large grocery bags, keeping them secure, dry, and out of sight. For a contractor, it's a perfect place for power tools, ensuring they don't get wet or stolen from the open bed. For a family, ideal for luggage, strollers, picnic baskets. It even includes 4 120 VA power outlets and 2 USB ports, making it incredibly versatile for charging devices or running small appliances right from the frunk. This isn't just a storage bin, it's a powered, protected trunk that happens to be at the front of your truck.
A powered front trunk. Okay.
And beyond the frunk, the traditional bed of the Lightning is also larger and more conventional than the Rivians, naturally. And then there's the ProPower onboard system. This is a true game changer for many users. It's not just a few outlets. Depending on the trim, it can offer a substantial amount of power output, up to 9.6 kilowatts on the extended range Platinum model.
9.6 kilowatts. That's a lot of juice.
It is. This allows you to run power tools directly from your truck at a remote job site, eliminating the need for a separate generator. Or, and this is amazing, in a power outage, it can actually power your entire home for days, effectively turning your truck into a massive mobile backup generator. This is an enormous advantage for working professionals, for emergency preparedness, even just for outdoor events where you need serious power.
Wow. Powering your house from your truck. That's genuinely innovative and incredibly practical. It really leans into that utility aspect Ford is known for. Now, Rivian, I know they have a frunk, But they also have that famous gear tunnel, right?
That's right. The Rivian R1T also has a frunk, and it's certainly useful for smaller items or charging cables. It offers 11 cubic feet of space, so it is indeed smaller than the Lightnings. However, the R1T's true innovation in storage lies in its gear tunnel. This is a remarkably clever 65-inch long pass-through compartment, located directly between the cab and the bed, spanning the entire width of the vehicle. It's truly unique in the truck market.
To pass through, so it goes all the way across.
All the way across. Think of it as this hidden, secure, weatherproof tube that goes right through the truck, with access doors on either side, right behind the cab doors. The uses for the gear tunnel are incredibly diverse and directly align with Rivian's adventure-focused design. It's perfect for stowing long items like skis, snowboards, golf clubs, fishing rods, or even dirty camping gear, keeping them secure, out of sight, protected from the elements. Especially useful for keeping muddy boots or wetsuits separate from the clean interior, you know?
Oh, definitely. Keep the mess contained.
Exactly. It also features a built-in 120V outlet on one side and even a 12V outlet, which can power accessories or charge devices while you're out exploring off-grid. Additionally, the R1T's bed, while smaller in length than the Lightning's at 4.5 feet, still offers some clever under-bed storage compartments, further maximizing its utility for adventure gear. You can fit things like recovery straps, air compressors, maybe small coolers in there hidden away. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, you can clearly see how each design leverages the EV platform for its specific audience. Brute, versatile utility for Ford with its massive frunk and game-changing Pro Power onboard, versus clever, adventure-ready solutions for Rivian, epitomized by that ingenious gear tunnel and the integrated portable accessories. It really comes down to what you need to carry, how you live your life, and what kind of adventures you embark on.
Now let's talk about the fun part. How do these electric beasts actually drive? Both of them are surprisingly quick for their size. I mean, they're trucks. But the feel, the driving dynamics, are distinct. You get into each one and you immediately know you're in something different, often in a surprising way.
There are indeed remarkably different experiences behind the wheel, despite both being incredibly powerful. Let's start with the Ford F-150 Lightning's power and driving feel. This truck packs a serious punch. Would have been unimaginable in a gas F-150 just a few years ago. With the extended range battery, it can deliver up to 580 horsepower and an astonishing 775 pound-feet of torque.
775 foot-pounds. Wow.
It's an incredible amount of instant electric power delivered directly to the wheels. What does that translate to? Well, it hits the 60 mile per hour in under 4 seconds. Seriously fast for a full-size pickup truck weighing over 6,000 pounds. You feel that surge of power the moment you press the accelerator. It's quite exhilarating, pushes you back into your seat.
I bet. But how does it feel to drive, beyond just the speed?
Yeah, despite that raw power, the driving feel of the Lightning is still very much that of a well-mannered, powerful F-150. It offers a smooth and incredibly quiet ride, especially on highways where it just cruises effortlessly. The electric powertrain eliminates engine noise and vibrations, making for a truly serene cabin experience. A delightful surprise for those used to the rumble of a traditional truck. It doesn't try to be something it's not. It's an enhanced, familiar experience. If you've ever driven an F-150, you'll feel right at home. Just with the added quietness, smoothness, and that exhilarating effortless acceleration that only an electric powertrain can provide. It's truly a modernized classic, a familiar friend with a serious power upgrade.
So it's like a whisper quiet rocket in the shape of an F-150. That's a unique combination.
Yeah.
But then the Rivian is known for its performance, too, often pushing boundaries. How does it compare in terms of driving feel and agility?
The Rivian R1T, particularly with its quad motor setup, takes quickness to another level entirely. It is even quicker than the Lightning, capable of hitting 0-60 miles per hour in around 3 seconds.
3 seconds. In a truck.
Yeah, that's sports car territory. From a pickup truck, you're going to spill your coffee and maybe your passengers if you're not ready for it. It's truly a physics-defying experience. My first time, I actually checked if the road was going downhill.
Huh. I believe it.
But the performance difference isn't just about straight-line speed, it's about agility and refinement. The R1T features an independent air suspension system on all 4 corners. This sophisticated suspension provides a remarkably refined and agile ride. Makes it feel less like a traditional body-on-frame truck and more like a high-performance SUV. It handles corners with surprising composure for a vehicle of its size and capabilities, exhibiting very little body roll. You can genuinely enjoy driving it on winding roads, feeling a connection to the pavement that's rare in a pickup. Furthermore, the Rivian offers multiple drive modes, dedicated off-road settings, sport modes, even a conserve mode. They adjust everything from ride height to suspension damping and steering feel, really tuning the vehicle for specific conditions or your preferred driving style.
That air suspension makes a big difference then.
Huge. What's fascinating here is how Rivian's clean sheet design, building from the ground up, truly allows for this SUV-like agility despite its impressive truck capabilities. They weren't bound by existing chassis designs or the need to accommodate a traditional powertrain. This really appeals to a driver who might appreciate a sportier, more engaging feel from their vehicle, even if it's a truck. It's an entirely different sensation than the robust, familiar power of the Lightning. One is a refined evolution of a classic. The other is a complete redefinition of how a truck can drive.
Okay, now this is a truly key differentiator, isn't it?
Yeah.
One built primarily to work, the other explicitly designed to explore beyond the pavement. When we talk about off-road capability, these two really diverge in their intent and execution. It's almost like they were built for different continents, you know?
They absolutely do. And it's a clear reflection of their core philosophies. Let's look at the Ford F-150 Lightning's terrain prowess first. While it is certainly a capable vehicle and can handle light off-roading, rough dirt roads, and typical job site terrain with ease, it's fundamentally not designed for extreme rock crawling, deep mud bogging, or high-speed desert running. It's built for the kind of off-road conditions a working truck might encounter, navigating a muddy construction site, traversing a gravel path to a remote cabin, driving through a snowy field. It has adequate ground clearance for most everyday scenarios and can certainly get you to a campsite on a well-maintained dirt path.
So competent, but not hardcore.
Exactly. Its larger size, which is an advantage for cargo and passenger space, can also be a hindrance on narrow, technical trails where precision and a smaller footprint are crucial. Think about tight forest trails or switchbacks in the mountains. The Lightning's full-size dimensions can make those maneuvers challenging, risking scrapes, or maybe even getting stuck. So while it's competent and will meet the off-road needs of most traditional truck owners for light duty, it's not a dedicated trail vehicle engineered for the truly challenging technical stuff. It meets the off-road needs of most truck owners, but it won't satisfy the hardcore adventurer looking to conquer, say, the Rubicon Trail or Black Bear Pass.
Right, so it's more about getting to the job site or the family cabin, rather than scaling boulders. That makes sense for its target audience. But the Rivian, I hear it's a completely different beast when it comes to the rough stuff.
Right. Oh, completely. In stark contrast, the Rivian R1T truly excels off-road. This is where its adventure vehicle philosophy genuinely shines, where its clean sheet design allows it to perform capabilities that traditional trucks often struggle with. It was engineered from the very beginning with serious off-road capability as a core tenet, not some afterthought. One of its key features is that advanced air suspension system we mentioned earlier. This isn't just about a smooth ride on pavement. It offers adjustable ground clearance. The R1T can raise itself up to an impressive 14.9 inches.
Almost 15 inches. That's massive ground clearance.
It's phenomenal for clearing obstacles like large rocks, fallen logs, or deep ruts on the trail. You can literally watch it rise or lower itself at the touch of a button, adapting to the terrain right in front of you. Beyond the adjustable height, its quad motor system provides incredible precision. Because each wheel has its own independent motor, the R1T can achieve precise torque vectoring.
Like each wheel thinks for itself.
Kind of. Imagine each wheel having its own independent throttle. So if one wheel hits an icy patch or lifts off the ground, the system instantly knows to back off power to that wheel and send it to the ones that do have grip. It's like having 4 individual brains working together, giving the Rivian this almost spider-like ability to crawl over pretty much anything. This allows for incredible control on challenging terrain, climbing steep, loose inclines, navigating slick, uneven surfaces, even turning within its own radius in certain scenarios like a tank turn. It's truly built for serious adventure. Designed to inspire confidence when venturing far off the beaten path, where traction is unpredictable and obstacles are plentiful. Connecting the dots here, you can see how this directly aligns with Rivian's core philosophy. It offers you a high degree of capability and peace of mind when your journey takes you well beyond the pavement and deep into the wilderness.
You know, at the end of the day, these are still trucks. And for a massive segment of buyers, maybe the most paramount capability is towing. Whether it's a boat, a camper, heavy construction equipment, a horse trailer, a truck needs to haul. So how do these electric powerhouses stack up when it comes to pulling the heavy stuff? Especially since battery weight can sometimes be a factor in payload and towing dynamics.
This is indeed a critical aspect for any truck, electric or otherwise, because for many, a truck is defined by its ability to work. Let's examine the Ford F-150 Lightning's towing prowess first. It is, without a doubt, a true work truck. And its towing capabilities reflect that heritage and Ford's deep understanding of what truck owners actually need. With the extended range battery, it boasts a maximum towing capacity of up to 10,000 pounds. That's a very substantial figure, putting it right in line with many traditional gasoline-powered half-ton trucks. Allows it to pull most recreational trailers, mid-sized boats, maybe even a smaller RV with ease. Its payload capacity is also incredibly impressive, up to 2,235 pounds, which means it can haul a significant amount of weight in its bed without breaking a sweat. Think a pallet of bricks, a bed full of gravel, or heavy tools for the job site.
Solid numbers. But you mentioned Ford's experience. Does that translate into towing tech?
Absolutely. And this is where the Lightning really shines for towing. It's not just about the raw numbers, it's the integrated towing technology. Ford has leveraged its decades of truck experience to infuse the Lightning with smart features that make towing not just possible, but easier, safer, and more predictable. We're talking about systems like Pro Trailer Hitch Assist. This can automatically steer the truck to align the hitch ball with the trailer coupler, takes all the guesswork and frustrating back and forth adjustments out of hooking up, even for a novice.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Like parallel parking assist, but for trailers.
Kind of. It's a huge time saver and stress reducer. And even more significant for electric trucks is its smart range estimation that accounts for trailer weight. This is absolutely a game changer for serious haulers. The truck system actively calculates your remaining range based on the weight of the trailer you're pulling, the aerodynamic drag of the trailer, the terrain you're traversing, even weather conditions. Gives you much more accurate and predictable range estimates. For you, the user, this minimizes range anxiety immensely when you're pulling a heavy load hundreds of miles. You know what to expect. Plus, traditional truck advantages like larger power folding mirrors and blind spot monitoring that extends to cover the entire length of your trailer are seamlessly integrated. Significant safety and convenience for the working professional who tows frequently or anyone pulling a large camper.
So Ford's basically built in an automated parking assistant for your trailer and a super smart range calculator. I can't tell you how many times I've wished for that on a camping trip. That sounds like a genuinely well thought out approach. Now, the Rivian, its raw towing number is impressive, right? But doesn't have the same kind of smarts.
That's a key distinction. Now, the Rivian R1T also boasts incredibly competitive numbers, especially for a truck of its more compact size. It has an impressive maximum towing capacity of up to 11,000 pounds.
11,000. So actually more than the Lightning on base.
Exactly. It actually edges out the Lightning in raw numbers, making it one of the most capable electric trucks on paper for pulling heavy loads. And a payload of around 760 pounds is also quite respectable. On paper, it looks extremely capable, and it absolutely is. It can tow a significant boat, a decent-sized camper, or even a car on a flatbed without breaking a sweat, thanks to that immense instant torque from its quad motors.
But I sense a but coming.
Well, where it differs is in the sophistication of its towing software, particularly when it comes to predicting range. While its raw towing numbers are competitive, its software for calculating and predicting range while towing is generally considered less sophisticated and intuitive than Ford's system. This is a crucial distinction. For you, the user, this can potentially lead to more range anxiety on long hauls. You might not have as clear or accurate a picture of your remaining range when you're pulling a heavy load, especially if conditions like wind or elevation change unexpectedly. If towing long distances is a primary frequent use case for you, this difference in intelligent dynamic range estimation is a crucial consideration. It can impact your trip planning and overall peace of mind significantly. So while both are undeniably powerful for towing, the Ford offers a more refined, predictable, and frankly, maybe less stressful experience specifically designed for the frequent hauler.
Okay, for any electric vehicle, whether it's a sleek sedan or a powerhouse truck like these, range and charging, there are consistently huge concerns for potential buyers. It's the anxiety factor, right? How far can I actually go on a single charge, and how quickly can I get back on the road when I need to? So how do these two contenders fare on the open road and at the charging station?
These are indeed fundamental questions for EV adoption, and they're evolving rapidly, which is good news. Let's look at the range figures first. Both trucks offer multiple battery pack options, allowing buyers to choose based on their needs and budget. If we compare their longest range configurations, the F-150 Lightning's extended range battery can deliver up to an EPA estimated 320 miles. That's a very respectable number for a large truck, capable of covering most daily driving needs and even modest road trips. The Rivian R1T, with its larger max pack battery, can achieve up to an impressive 420 miles of EPA estimated range.
420 miles. That's a big number for a truck.
It really is pushing the boundaries for electric pickups and is a significant advantage for long-distance adventurers. So, on paper, the Rivian takes the lead here in terms of pure range. However, it's crucial to always remember the caveat. Real-world range, especially when towing, carrying heavy loads, or even in extreme temperatures, will vary significantly for both vehicles. That EPA estimate is a benchmark, right? Not a guarantee for every driving condition or every payload.
Always got to factor in the real world. What about charging speed? How quickly can you fill her up, so to speak?
Yeah, when it comes to charging speed, there's also a noticeable difference, particularly with DC fast charging. That's what you'd use on a long road trip to get back on the road quickly. The Rivian R1T generally has a higher peak DC fast charging rate, capable of accepting up to 220 kilowatters. The F-150 Lightning, while still fast for a truck, peaks at around 150 kilowatts.
Okay, so 220 kilowatts versus 150 kilowatts. What does that mean in practical terms?
Well, the implication here is that the R1T can theoretically charge faster under ideal conditions. Could potentially reduce your wait time significantly on longer road trips where you're relying on public fast chargers. To put those numbers in perspective, imagine you're on a road trip and need to add, say, 100 miles of range quickly. The Rivian, at its peak, could potentially do that in just 5-6 minutes, while the Lightning might take closer to 8-10 minutes.
That's a few extra minutes per stop. Adds up over a long drive.
Exactly. It can add up to a full coffee break you either gain or lose on a long journey.
That's a clever way to put it, the coffee break metric. So the Rivian is quicker at the pump, so to speak. But beyond the raw numbers, what about the overall charging experience and, crucially, service? That's where the legacy manufacturers often have a big leg up, isn't it? That whole infrastructure piece.
That's where the broader picture of the charging network and service truly comes into play, yeah. And where the legacy versus startup distinction becomes very clear, directly impacting peace of mind for buyers. Ford benefits enormously from its vast existing dealer network for service and maintenance. We're talking thousands of dealerships across North America, many of which have been servicing F-Series trucks for decades. This is a major convenience for many buyers across the country. If you need a routine service, a recall addressed, or an unexpected repair, chances are there's a Ford dealership relatively close by. With trained technicians familiar with the vehicle and readily available parts, it's an established, proven infrastructure.
That established network counts for a lot. What's the situation with Rivian?
Rivian, being a newer company, has an evolving service network. Their number of service centers is still growing, and they are not as widespread as Ford's. This can sometimes lead to longer wait times for appointments or necessitate traveling further for service, depending on your specific location, especially in more rural areas. This is a practical consideration for ownership. Servicing your vehicle might require more planning or travel time. However, and this is a critical future outlook and a significant development for potential Rivian owners, Rivian is adopting the North American Charging Standard, or NACS, in the future.
Ah, the Tesla plug standard. That's big news.
It is huge. This move will give Rivian owners access to Tesla's extensive supercharger network, which is currently the largest, most reliable, and often most convenient fast charging network in North America. This will be a tremendous advantage for Rivian in terms of charging accessibility and reliability down the road. It significantly mitigates those initial concerns about network availability, and it's something important to factor into your decision if you're looking at a vehicle for the long term.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground, from philosophical differences to how they drive, how they store gear, how they charge. But now let's get down to the brass tacks, the bottom line that often dictates purchase decisions. What do all these capabilities cost?
Yeah.
And what kind of value are you truly getting for your money with each of these trucks? Because even with incentives, these are significant investments.
This is where the rubber truly meets the road for many potential buyers, yeah? And it's arguably where the philosophical differences are most starkly reflected. Let's look at the Ford F-150 Lightning's pricing first. It generally starts at a lower price point, especially for its Pro trim level. That's primarily aimed at commercial fleets, but is also available to individual buyers. This strategic pricing makes it a more accessible entry into the electric truck market for many consumers, sometimes starting tens of thousands of dollars below the Rivian. Ford designed it to be within reach for traditional F-150 buyers who might be considering going electric but are price sensitive or just need a workhorse without all the bells and whistles.
So the entry point is lower, potentially much lower.
Yeah, right. However, it's important to note that as you move up to higher trims like the XLT, Lariat, and particularly the top-tier Platinum, and especially if you add the extended range battery option, the price of the Lightning can climb quite significantly. At these higher trim levels, the price can often overlap with or even exceed the starting price range of the Rivian R1T. For example, a fully loaded Lightning Platinum can easily cross the $90,000, even approach the $100,000 mark sometimes. So while the entry point is lower, a fully loaded Lightning can be just as premium price-wise as a Rivian. It highlights that Ford offers a wide spectrum of options.
So you can get into a Lightning for much less, but if you want all the premium features, you're looking at a similar price tag to the Rivian. That's a crucial distinction. What about the Rivian R1T then? It's always been positioned as a premium adventure vehicle, so I expect a higher starting price.
You're right. Now, for the Rivian R1T's premium positioning, it historically has had a higher starting MSRP from the outset. Reflects its bespoke clean sheet design, advanced technology, luxurious materials, and its positioning as a high-end, adventure-focused vehicle. It's designed to be a premium product, and its price reflects that, often starting in the high $70,000 or $80,000 for its entry models.
So definitely a premium starting point.
Definitely. However, it's worth noting that recent adjustments to configurations and the potential availability of federal and state tax credits, if you qualify, can sometimes narrow the price gap for certain trims between the two trucks. For example, if both qualify for a significant federal tax credit, that can suddenly make the Rivian more competitive at certain price points, especially if you are considering a mid to high trim Lightning. So, while the R1T generally commands a higher price, a careful comparison of specific trims and available incentives is always wise. Don't just look at the base MSRP. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it ultimately boils down to what you, the buyer, truly value. Are you looking for the proven affordability and traditional utility of a familiar workhorse designed for the broadest possible audience? Or are you seeking a premium, adventure-focused experience with cutting-edge technology, a truly unique design, and a digital-first approach? Your answer to that question will likely guide you toward one price point and value proposition over the other because each vehicle is priced to deliver on its specific promise. Hashtag tag tag outro.
So there you have it, two absolutely groundbreaking electric trucks, each with a distinct personality and a very clear purpose. It's pretty clear they're not really competing for the exact same driver, are they? They've kind of carved out their own unique niches in this burgeoning electric truck market.
Exactly. They are both exceptional vehicles, but for different reasons and for different people, appealing to different aspects of how we live and work. If you're someone who genuinely needs a traditional full-size truck for hard work, for consistent hauling, or maybe for primary family duties. If you deeply value a familiar driving experience and an interior layout that's practical, robust, and intuitive with those tactile controls, if you require maximum bed space and that truly massive trunk for versatile, secure storage, if you prioritize robust towing capabilities with those integrated smart features that make life easier and less stressful, like the smart range estimation, and if you seek the immense convenience and peace of mind of a widespread dealer service network across the country. And ultimately, if you're looking for a potentially more affordable entry point into electric trucks that feels like a natural evolution of what you already know and love, then the Ford F-150 Lightning is likely your undisputed champion. It's the electrified evolution of what people already rely on trucks for every single day.
Makes sense. The evolution.
Conversely, if you desire a truly premium, luxurious, and technologically advanced electric vehicle, if your lifestyle prioritizes serious off-road capability and you crave adventure-ready features like that ingenious gear tunnel, the versatile adjustable air suspension, and the extreme torque vectoring for ultimate trail prowess. If you prefer a more compact and agile truck for navigating urban environments with ease, or for more nimble off-roading, if you truly appreciate a unique design that stands out boldly from traditional pickups and signals innovation, and you're comfortable embracing a digital-first interior with constantly evolving over-the-air software updates that add new features over time, then the Rivian R1T is undoubtedly calling your name. It's the revolution in truck design built for a new kind of explorer. For those who want their vehicle to be an extension of their adventurous spirit, this raises an important question for you, the listener, to think about. As electric trucks continue to evolve, will we see more of this kind of specialization, where vehicles are hyper-tailored to distinct lifestyles? Or will they eventually converge into a more generalized, all-encompassing electric truck vehicle as technology advances? It's a fascinating trend to watch unfold in the coming years.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. Ultimately, this deep dive provides all the context and facts you need, hopefully, to understand these two incredible vehicles inside and out, separating their unique characteristics and intended uses. But when it comes to something as personal and as significant as choosing a new vehicle, especially one that defines a large part of your daily life and your adventures, there's really only one final step that truly matters.
Precisely. The best, most definitive way to make your decision is to get out there and test drive both vehicles. Sit in them, drive them on the roads you frequent, imagine them in your driveway, consider how they fit into your actual daily life. Their distinct personalities, their unique capabilities, and the subtle nuances of their driving dynamics will quickly reveal which one truly aligns better with your specific needs, your personal lifestyle, and your top priorities for an electric pickup truck. That's your final, most personal deep dive into the experience, the one that happens behind the wheel.